Welcome, everybody.
Hey, 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 hey.
Another episode of Elegant Profanity.
Puppy power. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Epic Gaming Power.
What is Epic Gaming Power, Travis?
I'm glad you asked, Diddy.
Surprising.
I see you're full of the vinegar.
I am
today.
full of vinegar.
That is where you can go and check out video game reviews, video game accessory reviews. Just really cool. With our buddy Gage Riley and his buddies over there. They're always pumping out promotions.
Good.
Good for them. No, they do a lot of hard work. Stuff is really educational and fun to read. And I enjoy reading it while I poo-poo. So if you poo-poo like me and you have some time to kill, and say, hey, I remember Cycling Filter from back in the PlayStation 1 days, back when you could get a jam pack with 15 demos, $4.99 at Walmart. Yeah, absolutely. I'll check that out. I'll read about that. Hey, do that. And wipe up and go back to your kids. But today, on the podcast, we have a good friend of ours, Eduardo Lutheran Adams.
Castro the fourth.
Yeah, sounds like I'm from another country.
Right. And he's got a.
Can I give you a small correct? Is it Epic Power Gaming or Epic Gaming Power?
Either one. Just start typing in words.
The internet knows exactly what you want.
Alright.
Just get halfway there and Google fills in the blank. I'm convinced that that's not like by things you normally.
Oh yeah,
type
no,
in.
it
They
definitely
read your
is
mind. I'm pretty sure.
For sure.
I don't think they read your mind. I just think they know that you're going to Google Cocoa Puffs to figure out what's really in it again, because you don't quite trust them.
That's true.
No, they read your mind. I'm
Well,
not
like,
convinced.
I don't understand, like, if I'm like outside, I'm wanting to change my oil. And I say, I wonder how to do this. And I just type in H and it says, how to change oil on a 2002 Kia Optima. That's weird. What if I wanted to look up Hellboy reviews?
Yeah, but you probably Googled something about your 2002 Kia Optima.
No one's ever Googled anything
You're
about
right.
2002 Kia Optima.
Because when you do, it just says worst car ever, and then the computer shuts down.
A fist fly that is screwing and punching into the dick. But no, so Ed is with Chain Smoking Hags. He plays guitar for them, sings for them, and they have a CD coming out April 25th at the Handlebar, and that will be their CD release party. So please come by, check that out, pick up your thing. It'll be on iTunes, right?
iTunes and Spotify.
And Spotify.
Yeah.
How does the Spotify thing work?
I have no idea.
Taylor Swift.
I don't either.
I paid someone money to do it for me.
Which is surprising. That's the first time I've heard that. Like a lot of times I've heard people say that their stuff just comes on there all of a sudden. Like I think like
Yeah.
not any local artists, but you hear interviews and stuff. You're like, well, how did my stuff even get on there? I don't get any money for it,
That's
but
what
my
Taylor
stuff,
Swift pulled hers off.
but my stuff is on there.
No, I put my stuff, like, we're specifically putting it on there. You get, a little bit of money for every time someone listens to it, but it's not going to pay the bills by any means.
Yeah, but you might as well put it out there. I mean.
Yeah, no, and that's the whole thing, is, like, it's going to be out there, and really, like, even, I was looking at this thing where people are getting royalty checks. It's like kind of a thing where they'll put them online, like, famous bands, like, especially metal bands, it seems like this happens to. They get, like, checks for, like, 2 cents and stuff. Like,
Wow.
yeah, nothing. They don't make money on it anymore. So.
There's a CD Baby is another one.
Yeah, well, and we've actually, no, I'm not going to say who we went through because I don't know. We went through somebody to get our CD made. I think Bison Disc, possibly. But CD Baby makes CDs, and then they have that kind of same service.
I feel like with the internet, you might as well if you can find a dozen of those type of websites, why not put it out there on all
As
of them?
many as you can, yeah. That's our whole idea.
Because I mean, that 2 cents times 12 is already, that's already a better profit.
Yeah,
And then one day, if it's $1, that's $1 times 12.
yeah. And we're not worried about making no money on it. We're just trying to get out there, have a good time. People enjoy listening to our music, and that's what it's about. So getting it out there to them to listen to, however they want to listen to it.
Are you worried about people like getting it on like BitTorrent and stuff?
No, because me, Chris, and DJ are really big guys, and we can hurt people.
Yeah, but virtually can you hurt people?
Yeah.
I know a lot of mean jokes.
He's very sarcastic when he types.
I know a lot of your mama jokes.
He capitalizes a lot of shit when he types.
I like the fact that you rest the microphone on your ear.
Yeah, I do. I didn't realize that. That's funny.
Now, is that intentional? Is that beard sort of purpose?
My beard?
I think this beard has something in it that attracts big black shafts to rest upon it. If I were to guess at all.
What you're talking about is security.
So, Ed is our guest today.
I need an adult.
This is where we would cue the music if Ed would ever get on the ball with again with some.
It's right there. It's gonna happen today. You guys are gonna have music after today.
You need to, if you will, get some intro music going.
Yeah, you want some intro? Yeah.
Record some intro music.
Yeah, I guess. So they're
Yeah, you don't have to do it right now, but I mean by.
Yeah.
Oh,
by
I
the end
thought
of-
you meant
I didn't mean
right
no, I didn't
now.
mean exactly
It's
like.
we could do some intro music right now. Yes, sir.
So before
We should have gotten our shit together and done that anyway. but
It's all good. We'll
it's
get
all
it.
right. We're good.
I'll play some later.
Ed'll be so drunk by the end of this podcast that
Can you play the guitar naked? Because that's how drunk you're gonna get.
Why am I getting?
that means they would have to put more clothes on to take them
This
off.
is very true. Very good observation, Travis.
Yeah,
It's a really free-flowing podcast here.
You have more facial hair on your head than you do on your lower half, which is interesting.
It's strange you can see that.
It is.
Boy, you're very naked. A lot of people like to call this podcast Bush League, and today we know why. Before we came on, we were talking about tips in the restaurant industry.
Great intro, by the way.
It's a good segue.
Or segue.
I feel like the only way that you should actually get tips is if you perform bar mitzvahs. That's the circumcision rate for you folks at home.
Yes, it was.
But no, what is the
Unfortunately.
etiquette on paying a tip every time? If you get a
No, I think etiquette is the wrong word because the etiquette is
There's no.
you should pay,
straight-
right?
well, this is what I'm saying. If I, for instance, were going to make you an elaborate drink,
Okay.
which has a lot of blending and mixing and ingredients,
So
Okay.
should that get the same amount of tip as someone who just opens your beer and give it to you?
no, well, it's
No.
all the whole idea. So you're talking about tipping in the bar world. That's totally different. Like, because you can do one or two things. You can pay as you go, and when you pay as you go, it's pretty much like custom. Just give $1 if you get a beer. You know, oh, here's like $2 for the beer. Here's $1 for you. But like those, if somebody spends time on it, I'm gonna give them more than $1. You know?
I think you hit on something that like it's your choice.
Yeah.
You don't have to tip anybody. You can say fuck all. I'm not tipping you. You don't have
Do
to
you
tip
think
this
it's
person.
fair, or do you think every 2
It doesn't
years-
matter if it's fair because
Every
you don't
other
have to
two
do
years.
it.
I mean, if you
Anyway,
don't want to get
there's
served
nothing-
again
Like
too.
you
I mean,
do,
that's,
also.
it's,
you don't.
it's socially
No, you don't.
acceptable, but it's not necessary. But also, I mean, those people who do like bartenders and stuff, usually waiters and waitresses especially, they make half a minimum wage.
Right.
They don't even make a full wage.
Right.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. Hashtag thanks Obama. No, I mean that's just the way it's been for a while. In other countries, it's an insult to tip in some ways.
Because you're saying that they don't make enough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a statement.
But that's factual too, though. It's strange to think about
Yeah.
being in America, though.
Well,
it's
we
very
have,
strange.
How do you know that?
because we have foreigners who come over here and won't tip.
Well,
And that's why. And it's seen.
Yeah,
that's
they
just
just don't
because
know they're not supposed to.
No. That is a bunch of
What is your hang up with tipping though? I mean, it's only $1.
See, his thing
And
is
they-
with tipping is with foreigners.
Right. That's I'm pointing the whole
Oh,
time.
so you just covered up.
That was the whole reason we had this conversation.
You covered up the racism with the tipping.
Here's where my pillow
Where we
case
got
comes
to
out
it.
of my face.
Why is it dark in here all of a sudden?
No, I have no problem tipping. I'm a good tipper. But I'm saying I don't think that you should be tipped for filling back a medal.
No, you don't have to be.
No, but that's the thing though. You have to, but why should you have to? If you're gonna make me a Long Island iced tea or something where you have to actually pour stuff into a glass,
Okay.
do the whole thing, it's a lot different than you reaching into a refrigerator and then sitting it in front of
It
you.
is.
That was worth the
Breaking it
dollar.
down like that, you're right. It is different. It's
Yeah.
not the fact of the effort that they're doing. It's that
So-
they're doing it.
And you don't have to give them $1. You give them less than $1, even 50 cents.
So what would you?
That's changed now.
So what would you rather? Somebody do like 10 push-ups, a squat,
I don't think they used to be tipped.
and then they open their beer with their ass cheeks and they hand it to you like, oh, that's $1. I'm giving that guy $1.
Basically.
He did the same
It's
thing
beer,
by.
right? I don't want that.
But
Hey,
like
Where's the cat go?
that Budweiser tastes exactly the same. I don't know what happened.
We're in Whateverville. What is that place? What do they got?
Oh yeah, anything
Yeah,
goes.
anything
Anything
goes.
goes. That's got to be bullshit, right? Because when you tell me, if I was in that place, they're like, dude, anything goes. All right, you said it. I didn't say it. You said it.
Stabbing and
Everything goes. That doesn't mean anything goes. That means everything goes.
Right.
Well, that's where that bartender is. Let's do with that.
Exactly. There's got to be some fine print on that award. Like you get that tickets in the mail. Like, by the way, you can't murder anybody, rape anybody, talk about anything.
Whatever. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
I think it's like-
USA, I think. Right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's disappointing.
We're not sponsored by Bud Light, so we're not going to talk
We're
about
not gonna
it
talk
anymore.
about
That's something. Wicked piss it. But no, that's my whole thing
Yeah.
about that. It's just because I feel like maybe if you bought like 2 beers from the same guy, yeah, then you get $1.
Well, dude.
Well, that's his point in the beginning. Like, if
Yeah.
you just don't pay as you go. Get your card at the end.
Yeah.
Leave $4.
Open the
But
tap.
what if you don't have
Done.
your card?
Open
You
the
have to
tap.
take
I
it.
don't know.
Look,
I think if you're a bartender, you shouldn't be expected to get that. But if you take the effort to pour something into something, you're actually having to work for it.
Also, I think it's $1.
Yeah, but
Like individually, it really doesn't mean a thing.
well,
It doesn't mean
every
anything.
2 you drink, that's an extra beer you could have drank.
what $2 beer are you drinking?
Well, that's what you referenced to earlier. You said here's $2
Oh,
for a
you're
beer
right.
and $1.
My life.
Well, there you go. You're getting cheated out of a beer every time you drink 2 beers because some guy.
But you're not getting cheated. But okay, but at the same time, you give him $1 every time. When you're out of a beer, it's between you and the other guy at the end of the bar. You're getting yours first. You know, like it's like works out really well that way. You tip better, they're gonna come to you
Yeah, but
first.
if he's just gonna walk in there and give him a beer and then come back and give me a beer, I mean.
See, I've been to that place 5 downtown. Like, you know what I'm talking about? We hung out
Is that
there.
a sexual joke?
I wish.
5.5 downtown.
I don't.
It's on a street corner somewhere near you.
It's a shitty neighborhood.
If you remember, we went to Chris Thomas King,
Uh-huh.
and we went to the little bar behind there.
Right.
Okay, I go in there, I get served. Like there could be a bar full. There could be a bar full, but for real, it's because I went in there. They fixed me a really good drink, and I have like one. I'll tip them $7 on.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
I've
because-
never tipped $7 on a drink.
But it's like it's
Like
worth
they
it.
just price drop.
Yeah. I'm not saying how much I make a
It's
year.
a $12 drink and he tips $7.
Right.
But no, it's
Well,
seriously
$4
like.
Like $20 for 8 ounces of
Or,
fluid.
or what I'll do is if it's like a $4 drink, I'll tip like if I'm just sitting there for one drink and I'm having a good conversation, it's a good drink, I'll tip 100%. And think about it that way, it's 100% is only $4. So it's $8 total. Next time I go in there, bar full of people, I walk up there, he's got me first.
He's thinking.
It's true. I've seen it happen at that
Yeah.
place. Where
That's
the
the
guy
same-
on the slide gives you.
Maybe that's why a lot of times, like you'll stay at the bar sometimes and you will get passed over. You're like, what the hell's going on here? I'm standing here, obviously I'm next.
Yeah, they take
So
care of
maybe
people
that's
that take
it.
care
Maybe
of
they
them.
recognize that person and you don't even, because you wouldn't recognize that they recognize
Yeah.
that.
They take,
Maybe that's
they
it.
take care of the people, take care of them. Same reason I tip when I get takeout. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't do that. Like get
Good
takeout,
idea.
and they're like, "Oh well, no, I went to Chinese restaurants and Asian restaurants, dude. They will hook you up. You give them a couple extra bucks.
Do you
The
often
next
go,
time you go in there, dude, they will like, here's 4 extra egg rolls. I'm like,
4 extra egg rolls?
Like,
You're
here-
doing more than tipping people like that.
well, seriously, because think about it. Like no one else leaves anything.
Do you
And
go- do you
and
often-
you drop $2.
He must.
Do you often go to the same places?
Yeah, that's also part of it, and that's also part of building up the local economy.
That's a good idea, actually.
Like
It's a great way to
places.
network. And
Yeah.
How cool would it be really to be able to go out to like every place you go, you're friends with the people inside there.
Yeah,
That'd be a really cool thing.
it's a ball and move when you walk in somewhere and they're like, "Hey, Ed," and like a bunch of other
We have
people
your
are
seat
like,
right here, Edward.
"Yeah," and other people are like, "Wait, how do you even know that?" I'm just like,
Don't worry about
"It's
it."
good, like,
Right.
I eat a lot of Chinese food, you know.
I love gastrointestinal disorder.
And he's like, here's a seat for you right here in this empty restaurant.
See, I have something similar like that at a place I go to a lot in the one store in the town that I live in.
The
So
Tom
it's
Thumb.
The Tom Thumb.
They have your chicken tenders ready when you
Right.
walk in.
They have my thriller cup ready on point. And you don't have to tip.
Yeah,
Special
no.
styrofoam foam in from
Dude.
Singapore.
You go to Tom Thumb, tip someone $1, whatever you want
That's
will
a
be
good
waiting.
point, actually.
Whatever you want will be waiting for you next time you get there.
It's a great
Be like,
point.
we've been waiting on you. We fix the slushy
But how
every
did
hour.
yeah? But how did you know I was coming? We didn't.
We fix this new slushy every hour.
We fix one
Just-
every day.
It's not our money.
We've wasted many slushies waiting for your arrival.
Because
Well, that's
you
what
gave
was-
me $1.
Well, see, that was what was weird at when we worked at Walmart. Was people weren't allowed to tip us, and if people did, we weren't allowed to take them. Remember?
I took them.
I took them too. And I always didn't cut that.
I
guy's
took them
meat
for
first.
sure.
That's a good point. I
This
always
podcast is
Yeah.
sponsored by Walmart.
Right.
I took them for sure. Fuck that place.
Walmart.
Absolutely.
Destroy communities one store at a time.
Exactly, yeah. Dude, I would not feel bad at all.
Have you heard about this? Is what I've heard about in I don't know if it's Illinois or is it Missouri? I can't remember, but where
Missouri. You mispronounced it. Missouri.
the cupcake place or whatever it was, the bakery place that wouldn't bake the cake for the homos.
Yeah.
That's the politically correct.
So so you're saying cupcakes, fruitcakes weren't allowed to have
Yeah.
cupcakes. Is that what
Is
you're
it?
telling me?
Wow.
Is that the political?
No, it's not.
I thought it was. Isn't that really?
You are dead serious right now.
What is it? Is it that he is a gay?
What did you say?
You can't say the gays. That's like saying the blacks.
The gay community.
No,
These two lesbians walked into a pastry
That's
shop.
acceptable to
the
say.
bartender said.
That sounds like a setup. But no, they refused to make their wedding cake.
Yeah.
And
Who refused?
Well,
though?
dude,
your
you're-
company.
the cake on.
You're a
We
little-
can't all talk.
You're a little behind on this. You're a little behind on this because
If
there's
you
like
know
a law passed.
Right, that is what I'm getting to there.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. Was this an independently owned?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, they said we're not going to make the gay people's wedding cake.
Okay.
So the gay people said, well, we're going to boycott your store. So they did that, the store goes out of business.
Wow.
Then they pass a bill that says that you have religious freedom in your store, you can do whatever you want to. So then the gays said, well, we're going to protest this law then as well. So, and then,
What does the religion have to do with the gay part of it?
well, because they're Christians that don't want to serve gays.
Okay.
Okay. So they were saying, it's our store, we should go do whatever we want to. And they said no, and then now they're saying yes. But there's all these people now with this bill that's come along and said, no, if you don't want to serve people that you don't want to serve, you don't have to. So now the gay people are saying, I don't know what they call them at this point.
Just say
Bunch
what
of
you
people
want.
are looking at me.
You can say whatever you want as long as you're not really being derogatory. Just say whatever.
Yeah.
And but now Walmart, this is what I'm going to get to with Walmart. Walmart said that we're not going to build any more Walmarts. We're not going to build a Walmart in this town unless you appeal the bill.
Really?
Yeah. And also,
That's a
The
powerful.
community started to flourish because Walmart didn't move in.
That's a powerful statement, though.
and the,
for a
and
company.
the chick from
That's
Angie's
very-
List, Angie from Angie's List said we're not going to deal in your
Well,
town.
The whole idea behind the law is like out of the Fortune 500 companies, the top ones right now, 300 of them have spoke out against this bill, or against it, or for it, whatever one's not good, whatever one's good.
So
Wait.
They're for the bill.
I don't know which.
They're
one's
for
good.
human
Well, the
rights.
bill is so that you can do whatever you want.
No,
You
so
can serve whoever you want.
Okay, they're speaking out against the bill then
They want
because
the bill voted down.
yeah, they just want to say you have to serve whoever because that's just.
you know what I think it is? I think we shouldn't give these credits that much credit because they're just going with what's more popular.
But and that's exactly it.
If
because-
it was the other way around, they'd be like, all right, go ahead and enact that bill because we don't
okay,
care.
well think about
Because
this.
all right, no, because everybody, that's a generality, but most people know somebody who's gay or lesbian.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
There's 3 in this room.
exactly, two lesbians and a queer.
No.
or
No.
And I was worried about saying a whole
and
lot.
So this,
No, I don't
this
worry-
podcast just got boycotted. Also,
Wait.
You
Where-
hear the laptop shut.
we'll be on NPR tomorrow being talked about.
I don't even know where I was going with that. Well, if they'll, all right, but because it's going to offend somebody if they were to the other side of it.
Yeah.
So it's better to play the safer card.
To me,
So I don't really think these companies are acting like in like a moral superiority. They're just doing what's more popular because they're going to lose customers.
That's exactly it.
If
Because
they went the other way around with it.
Yeah, Apple's one of the big people who's speaking out against this and acting like in Indiana, that's where this whole bill's going on. They're acting like everything's like blowing up, like it's a hostile environment. But yet, how many iPhones do they sell to Syria? Like seriously, they have stores and stuff over in the Middle East where if you're gay, they'll just walk you out in the street and shoot you in the head, and nobody looks twice at it.
Really?
Because they'll be like, oh, he was gay. And they're like, oh, crazy. Why haven't we shot him before?
What?
You know, it's seriously that bad. But what is Apple doing about that? Nothing.
They have an app for it.
What are they doing about
They have a kill count app.
What are they doing about the people in China that are jumping off the buildings, killing themselves, so they have to put up the nets around the building?
I don't know. Why are they doing that?
No, I forget the name of the company, but it was where Foxconn.
Yeah,
Are
Foxconn.
they doing that because of like working conditions?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, that's also another thing they're not talking about. They're not talking about every one of their phones is built there.
That's
for
where the point
10
was.
cents an hour, if not less.
Right.
I think it's funny. It's not funny, but it's interesting to think that they're like, how can we make this better? We don't want to improve work conditions or increase pay. Let's just put up some nets. At least these people don't have to hit the ground.
But who's going to jump after they put up the net? Maybe I'll make it through.
Maybe they'll make it through.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
But
It turns into a game show.
Americans,
This is
there's
horrible.
probably an American. There's foxes down this way. They're gonna film it right now.
Yeah.
Will the goop make the gap? That's the name of the show.
In the NBA, they always make it through the nets.
That's the most racist thing that's ever been said since Vietnam.
That is pretty.
I can't. That'll be the second line of T-shirt that we come
That's
out with.
that's it. There's a T-shirt idea.
For sure, I'll be wearing that to the gallery night.
NPR again. We'll be talking about this tomorrow.
I'm giving them all the content they need.
Yes.
For everybody to listen to.
So 3 more viewers I have now.
Oh. That's a week's worth of material.
This might be a good segue to get into some music.
Alright.
Or were you planning on playing during the show?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why
I
not?
don't know. I thought we were just talking.
Oh, just play with him.
I don't just talk.
He's a real deal.
I'm the real deal. Real deal.
Real man.
I brought a dobro today.
You did what?
A dobro?
What is that?
This.
That's a dobro?
Describe it for your listeners.
That's what I think about it. It's a guitar with a rim in it, and it lays in his lap, similar to the other people in his band.
Interesting description.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Or better known as a lap guitar, slide guitar. Is there a particular song off the CD that you want to play, or are you just gonna riff with something?
I got a song that we haven't, where it's actually not on the CD, but we just wrote it. It'll be out the day we play. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
That's an excellent one for that purpose.
Okay.
You wanna do that?
I'll do whatever.
Turn it on. There you go.
I
Yeah.
wasn't even under the impression that you were doing this, so good.
treats me good, just like she should. Well, we're up. It was alright.
That wasn't bad. It's early yet.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you was, with the you said that you're going to be on iTunes.
Yes.
How did you get on that?
It's like I don't even know, really. I paid someone to do it. Jason Hester, Rancho Molino Music, they're the ones who recorded our album. They have produced our album. They have mixed our album. They have mastered our album. They have helped us along the way, put it out via CD form and the other mediums as well.
So, what do you mean by master? What is that?
That means, I don't even really know.
Like they know all the lyrics, all the songs?
Probably by now, he's probably listened to it a billion times. It's like getting everything right, getting the sound right, making sure that, because you play it, everything comes out, but making sure it's like good to go, it's all set, all the sounds sound the way they need to sound. Because sometimes after the fact, you can record something and it's not quite what it needed to be.
This will now take communion.
Christ
So
can
yeah,
help me.
but yeah, this is a dobro you were here, and I just got this a couple weeks ago. I like playing it.
Let me, just real quick.
Yeah.
These are the line things. Whenever people go on iTunes,
Yeah.
they purchase your music.
Yes.
They'll be able to do just like a regular thing, go in and pick a song that they want to and buy the whole album.
Yeah, it'll be like it's like a real legit thing. It's like
So how do you get the money from that?
you set up an account with iTunes, or actually we go through a medium company. So there's companies out there who help you get that set up. So this company is helping us get set up, and no one gets the whole price. You pay them like a very, very small fraction to help you do that, like a one-time fee, and then you get the money from the sales or whatever.
Let's say you have like a PayPal account or something?
It's actually right through PayPal. The one that we're doing is through PayPal.
So whenever somebody clicks a purchase on that, you can see it pop up in your PayPal account, that much money?
The way I think the way they do it, I'm not quite sure because I'm still learning. I think it comes up, it's like once I get so much money,
That's it.
PayPal will put it in my account. So like after I get $100, I could say, put that in my account. And go, okay.
Well, how does it then put it in your account and not get it in
Here-
Because I set it up.
We
I set it up with my account.
So you get all the money, and
So-
then you distribute it to the rest of your band?
I mean, there's no distributor. No, there is. Well, actually, we have to pay taxes on that. That's actually going all to a band account. And so it's all going to the band. You got to pay taxes on what you sell and stuff like that. So it's not a free thing to do. But we're trying to get a tour going. Once we get the album released, that's one great thing about it is we're going to be able to offer that to out-of-town places and be able to do tours and things of that nature. So that's going to help us out a whole lot.
All for the CD?
Yeah, like, here's a couple of our songs we recorded. Because now what we do is we send YouTube videos, and that basically anybody can do that. You can't really get a good gauge of if somebody's good or not. So an out-of-town company is not going to take a chance on a company or a band who they don't know. So
Also,
they're
it
going to
just
want to hear it.
looks more legitimate.
Yeah,
It makes you guys look more serious.
Yeah, it makes us look like we know what we're doing, even though we don't.
It's been open a while. You are a picky bitch tonight. I'll be honest with you today.
I didn't know if you were talking about your butthole or what.
No, I'm talking about you. Sorry they weren't fresh picked grapes. I would have known if I had more time. I would have made wine for you today.
Where do you plan on touring from to where?
From here to wherever.
That's a good album. Is that the name of the album?
From here to wherever. It's actually called Fresh Out.
Fresh Out.
So with the Chain
It's a
Smoking.
closet.
But see, no, we
You
actually.
won't be getting any cakes in Indiana anytime soon, you bitch. No, but so what are you gonna do with your job? Are you gonna take a leave of notice or absence? I mean, or?
No, I mean like a tour is not necessarily forever. It's we're gonna go
It's gonna
for
be a
like.
couple week thing, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say any more about my job.
Well,
I get paid time off.
You don't have to tell me the specifics of it.
I get paid time off.
They'll be working with you.
Yeah, so I'll just
Take a 2 week.
I'll take 2 weeks vacation. It's basically what I'm doing, and then.
So you can't go too far. Then it'll have to be to maybe Tennessee and that.
I can go really far in 2 weeks.
Well, here's the thing.
Do a different bar.
But see, that's the whole deal. Is like on the road. Okay, I'm gonna.
My way.
Home, sweet home. If I want to go to Washington, it takes like 4 days to drive there, something like that. Every night I'll stop somewhere new, and we'll play somewhere.
So Washington be the end destination.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. Is like every night along your trip, you need to make sure you have something planned.
Now, how are you guys going about that? Because that's difficult.
Once we get the CD out, that's when it's going to really start. Because that's when we're able to send it to people and say, "Hey, here's this." But we don't. We have the CD done, and just to be real, we have the copies and everything. The problem is, I can't just give. We have a CD release date. I don't want to be unfair and give it to someone before another. So, kind of respect for our fans. I'm just waiting to get in contact. Based on what we did, I mean, we booked the vinyl based on YouTube videos, so I don't think we're gonna have any problem booking shows. And based on some reception we've had out of town already.
How do you know who to contact though in those other cities?
You just find the name of the bar and you email them or call
them. So
them.
you'll just look up, let's say, Nashville, Tennessee, and you'll look up bars in Nashville, Tennessee, and then send it to those bars?
Yeah, I'll start calling people. Everybody puts a lot of stuff on the internet, which is really good. So I could say, okay, I could Google local bands in Nashville. And I go see where local bands play. Okay, that's going to be a better place to go. I'm not going to go try to book their biggest venue in Nashville. That would be crazy.
Grand Ole Opry?
Yeah, I can't just get on the Grand Ole Opry. But I'm trying. I mean, let's get real. They're yet to let a rock and roll band in, but we're working on it. We're going to talk to their people. I'm not going to talk to them.
See, that's the interesting thing about that is country music's changed so much.
Like
they don't even really let country on the Grand Ole Opry anymore.
I don't
when you get right down to it. Is it really country music?
Well, actually the Grand Ole Opry stays pretty good about what they do. They get a lot of young guns on there and play, but they have respect for it almost. So but Little Jimmy Dickens still gets on there and plays super old country guy who still plays Grand Ole.
People love it.
And that's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear Luke Bryan singing about his jacked up truck on a Grand Ole Opry stage.
Right.
It looks like a freaking barn
it was on an
in the background.
Everybody was drunk except the pilot.
Yeah,
that's got to be an added lyric, right? It's so out of line.
Is that a song?
Yeah, you can tell. To me, you can tell producers said, "Wait a minute, you have to make sure that people aren't thinking." That the pilot is also drinking. You have to put it because the word everybody was drunk except the pilot. That's not poetic at all. It's just kind of it's a statement.
Yeah.
Unless that pilot's Denzel Washington.
We were drinking all day at the bar. Don't drink and drive.
Or it's finer, but.
I was texting my girlfriend. Don't text.
So you can text. You shouldn't text and drive, but can you text and fly? Because who are you gonna hit?
That guy over in Germany proved otherwise.
Who are you gonna hit?
Too soon.
Who are you gonna hit?
The nuts.
Yeah, I mean.
Then you gotta go
I feel like you gotta pay attention. If not, I don't want to ride the plane again.
Yeah, you have to pay attention, of course, but I think the odds of getting in a plane wreck are obviously way less than getting in a car accident.
Yeah, but the only difference is there's a lot better survival rate if I hit a tree than if I crash into the ocean.
I'm still playing the quantity odds over the dangerousness.
I'm just wondering
how many planes fly every
day
on an hourly basis that never crash.
Yeah, but how many lottery tickets are picked every day too?
I don't know.
One.
I don't know random statistics like I should. I need to study this.
You could pick one right now and then it would be all over with. Your lottery ticket came up and you're on a plane, you're dead. That's basically what I'm saying.
You also get bit by a shark while you're there.
You're playing get struck by lightning, crash into a mountain, you win the lottery.
I hear that you don't die from the crash, but you die from the fire from the crash.
Yeah.
That's
way
worse.
So flammable?
Gas?
Yeah,
Why is there so much gas?
Because they have to get from point A to point B, and it takes a lot of gasoline to do that.
But it looks like maybe if they do, they're going to crash.
Look, Travis, this is the deal with airplanes. God said, I'm not giving you wings because I don't want you to fly. We said, whatever, and we built airplanes. It's
There you
going to
go.
take a lot of stuff to do that.
There you go.
And they're not going to be simple.
Why don't they have a dump button on the airplane that lets all the fuel go?
That's a good question. That's a brilliant question.
Because where would that go? You don't know where that's going to go.
And I'd rather it not be on my skin.
You think
Think about
anybody?
this, I'm standing out in my yard one day, just having a fire in the backyard, and somebody's trying to land in Pensacola Airport, and they're like, "Oh, we're crashing." The boom.
All right, how
How
about some sort of
We're
additive?
talking about at least 100.
I'm not dying for them.
All right, how about this? Some sort of additive, so when it's falling through the sky, it heats up just enough to evaporate to nothing. The friction from falling out of the sky heats it to nothing. It
Is
just
that a thing?
no, but I'm just saying. I'm just making it up.
I doubt that.
Dump
What if
button.
it's got soap in it, like napalm, and it could just turn into bubbles? Slow falling bubbles.
That would have made Vietnam a lot more interesting.
Yeah. There you go. We just solved that
I think
problem.
we're onto something. Check that one off the list.
That's like we were talking about earlier about nobody wants to have hangovers. So then he suggested, why doesn't Powerade come up with a beer that would have your electrolytes in it? It is a different world. right now.
Electrolytes. Let's see.
That's how you don't get hangovers.
I mean,
It's a dehydration.
Allegedly.
It's a
I'm gonna say
dehydration.
allegedly because we don't do it there.
but see, okay, the thing is, electrolytes, like in that Powerade you're drinking, this sponsored by Powerade. Sorry.
They're not gonna want to be anywhere near this podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
That door.
We closed a lot of
Got
corporate.
closed when we said the derogatory statements about Asians.
About just about every race or sexual orientation.
Yeah. That's when that went out. T-shirt sells me up there. Can you put the
Made
phone
in China.
away? Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
The umbilical cord of our generation.
Of the devil.
I'll tell you what.
It better be a
I can't do it on the.
If you don't have 5 or 6 dick pics on call on your
We've
phone,
talked
you're
about
slipping.
this.
I have thought about this many
You have
times.
to have a library of halfway hard.
No, see, here's the thing. No man will admit. Well, maybe they'll admit to it. No man has
I'll
sent
admit to it.
a flaccid dick pic.
Now
I've sent them
I'm getting a
jokingly.
phone call. What the heck?
I've sent them jokingly to bill collectors. Say, look at this. You think I can pay that bill?
I can't even get a hard on. You think you're gonna get a paycheck?
Oh.
I think it's time for another song.
No, we're on a roll.
Always,
Fuck that song. We're on a roll.
it's always like the segue.
Just to fill in the gap.
But okay, so electrolytes. I was talking about electrolytes. There's like 4 electrolytes in that Powerade.
I think there is only 4. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's not enough to actually do anything for you.
Then what is it there for?
I don't know. 'cause it
Eddie,
sounds good.
jeez, come on, man.
If that's not a
Hour
female
long.
or your grandma that's dying, throw
Even
it.
if it is, you can't do anything. You're not a doctor. But no, I don't believe that. Then why would they sell it?
I'm gonna say this. There's
It's
probably
the same reason.
For electrolytes.
no. Here's
electrolytes
no.
also
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There are only 4 basic electrolytes. All 4 of them are in that. But how many of those 4 is the
Like,
question?
Not enough to really know.
That's the question. There's
How
enough.
do you know that? Then?
Because it would say on here, it's water and high fructose corn syrup,
Sugar is dehydrator, by the way.
less than 0.5% of everything else, including the vitamin B, of the B3, B6, and B12. Less than 0.5% is everything else in this. It's all water and high fructose.
That's very like godlike, that statement. Like everything else is less than 4.5% of everything else. It's very definitive.
Yeah.
There he is.
Who's
He can't help himself. Can
he can't help himself.
You don't like. That's weird.
While we're on the topic of labels and food labels, like, well, that energy drinks, right? It's like a zero calorie energy drink.
Okay.
I don't understand how these people haven't been sued. This wine has been open a while. I don't understand how these companies haven't been sued because calories, the definition of calories is energy. Vice versa. Like it is energy. So to market
I see where
a
you're
0
going.
calorie energy drink is counterintuitive. It's not an energy drink.
This is a drink.
It's a stimulant. That's not energy. That's like coffee isn't really energy because there's no it's a stimulant. So I understand where the fine print is, where these companies have them getting sued.
I don't see how they can sell something that doesn't have any calories in it, because eventually it would have a calorie, correct?
It depends on the sweetener, actually. That's where like designer sweeteners, like Sweet and Low.
I mean, I get where you're going with this.
Do you want us to go a little more funny? We don't want to get.
I mean,
We can go.
you have like this wine. It's called Drops.
It's not my wine.
Drops of Jupiter.
It's not my wine.
Was that Train or John Mayer?
Train.
It's not my wine. And you can pick out my wine if you want. I'll show you who brought it over, and then we'll see who's laughing.
Listen at you like you're an 8-year-old kid.
I am like an 8-year-old kid. You pick out my wine.
Drops Jupiter in her hair.
You cover that? I hear you cover that song. How good do you do?
I'm the best.
Way up there in the Milky Way. And then Chris goes, Jupiter!
Drops Jupiter in her hair.
Drops of Jupiter was that was a porn guy named Jupiter.
That was a cool energy drink from the 90s.
Was it really?
No.
Oh.
It was like a Surge
Yeah.
and Vault.
Along the same
I heard
lines.
Surge is gonna start coming back in stores.
It's making a resurgence.
I always thought it'd be cool.
Hey-o.
I always thought it'd be cool if Viagra
Slow
came
down,
out with like a
man.
rehydration drink. They called Splurge, but never really took off.
Hey, bada bing! This guy over here to my left. Yeah, if they what if they had Viagra in spray form? You spray it in your dick hole.
In?
Give you a
Why did you go that far with it? Why can't it just be on your dick? Why does it gotta go in the
a couple
hole?
in your mouth. Make you a smooth talker.
I walk a hard line and I smooth talk.
Yep. I'm hard. My facts are always hard.
Where would you spray it
Bill
first?
O'Reilly has spray Viagra.
Where would you spray it first? Would you put it on your
I'd
neck?
probably spray it on the foundation of my house. Who's being honest?
For the cockroaches?
Turn
Heavy
my
on the
eyes.
cock?
Waka waka waka, hey!
What's going on?
Eddie got duped on some sunglasses earlier or something.
No, not sunglasses, prescription glasses.
Same thing. I think glasses are all like metaphors, really.
No, I mean,
No, I think they're real.
Yeah, they help me see better than when I don't
I think
have
it's a
them.
placebo effect.
No, it's
What if that
definitely
was?
different.
I'll do the same thing whenever you make a circle with your finger, you turn it upside down, and then look through it like that, like an old Batman mask. It's the
Hey,
same
you're
way you can
right.
see further. Or if you make binoculars, figures with your hands, you look through them.
Could be. It's hard to drive that way though.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision.
Race car drivers do it all the time. So they have forearms like Goro. Epic Power Gaming. Go learn about it.
Check them out.
Look at that little piece of work.
Your favorite .com. Whatever it was.
.com. Bill Clinton.
That's a relevant topic.
What about Bill Clinton?
That was it.
That's it? He was the most badass president in the world. I think Bill Clinton.
Let's take it easy.
No. Bill Clinton, from like a humor standpoint, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush and Bill Clinton were the best presidents of all time.
I think that's just because they're so used to us.
Really best president? Teddy Roosevelt.
Think so?
He served the longest, right?
No, I don't think
Or was
so.
it Franklin? One of them served 12 years.
I don't think that's the case.
That's 100%.
There was one of the presidents that was like before the term, like the 4-year term rule came in.
Oh, yeah.
I forget who it was though.
Didn't it kind of crack me though that everybody knows George Washington, everyone knows Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
And then after that, it gets on up to the Roosevelts, and then you kind of start knowing them. Somebody may know John Adams.
Right.
But then who was the third president? Nobody knows. Nobody knows any facts about him or anything. Who was the 11th president? It's like, there was only, what is there? Obama's a 44 or 46 or something like that. Somewhere along those
Mad
lines.
at Matt, dude.
But they're like the most powerful and famous people ever, yet you can only name like 5 of them.
That's a good point actually.
Yeah.
If you're not like a student of presidential history, like the common average person probably can only name.
Yeah, I know.
Even between us, I think it would
every
be good to be.
quarterback that starts in the
Right. It's very strange, right? There isn't a sports center for the presidents.
It's true.
There should be.
Or if the third president was a douche.
I think it was like John Quincy Adams, actually.
Yeah,
There was
it
a
was.
John Adams and his son John Quincy. There was, or however that worked out, which is strange.
That was probably the first white person.
No. Quincy, you got
White
confused.
guy named Quincy?
Yeah. Middle name.
Google fact check that
You
one.
gotta fact check that one. I don't remember what number, but I know there was
like
a John and then
Calvin Coolidge.
that was see that joke. The reason that was funny, everybody who is listening is not gonna get this at all, but that was funny because you didn't get it until like 2 years later.
We had a
You're like,
boss
that guy is a prick.
named, anyways.
Mark Anthony, YouTube movers. Go ahead.
Way up there in the Milky Way.
Drive Jupiter.
We can finish the story. We just have to
Tell
change the name.
me.
I want to hear that cover. If you got that in you, I'll be happy about it. Or some Maroon 5. You want to drop some Maroon 5
I was
on
going to start doing some Panama.
Van Halen.
If you could do that, it would be kind of badass. Actually.
Panama.
Can you cover?
Why's your
Can you
foot
cover
out?
Panama for us? That'd be badass.
I wish I could.
That would be pretty badass.
You kind of shut up over there.
What'd you get? What's that text message? What'd you get?
No,
You
no,
got
no,
AIDS?
no,
Get your HIV results back? What happened over there?
I did get I got the results.
Yeah?
I'm pregnant.
Good.
With an elephant.
Flush that thing out. We don't need that.
You want me to play another song?
Yeah.
Get you a coat hanger out. I know several girls in high school that should have just stuck with that. There were closet cases.
What do you mean by closet cases? Unorganized?
They were banging in the closet. She was stuck with the hanger.
I don't know what that means. That was a very real conversation.
Will you want me to play a song?
Definitely. What did you go to get the crowd back into it? Song.
Okay. Old Muddy Waters too. Well, I roll and I tumble and I'm crying all night long. Well, I roll and I tumble and I'm crying all night long. Well, I'm drinking muddy water and sleeping around in the lawn. If the river was whiskey and I was a diving duck, the river was whiskey and I was a diving duck. Well, I would go down and Lord, I would not come back up. Well, I roll and I tumble and I'm crying all night long. Well, I roll and I tumble and I'm crying all night long. Well, I'm drinking muddy water and sleeping around in the lawn.
Oh, I'm energized.
I'm actually, and do you know where the origins of that song are? Because there's a line in that makes me think that he was a Pete Seeger fan.
Yeah, well, the first blues song that they've ever knew. Okay, so St. Louis Blues was the first blues song like ever written,
Fuck.
You all right?
I just
recorded.
got electrocuted.
You serious?
Yeah.
Using your microphone. It's kind of weird.
Oh, here, switch out then for.
That's alright.
So,
That's the magic.
So the first blues song I think ever ever done that they like knew about was it said the line about the whiskey. If the river was whiskey and I was a diamond die. And so and he said I would go down 3 times and Lord I would not come back.
Okay, so
it's like it's a play on that.
Okay, so it's not as if Muddy Waters stole it from Pete Seeger. It's just like it's almost like the idea of the crossroads.
Yeah.
It's been used so many times that.
Well, Hank Williams said it in the song. He said I'll go down to the river and watch the fish swim by. I jumped in the river so lonesome I wanted to die. I'm going down 3 times, but Lord I'm only coming up twice.
Okay,
like,
so it's a play on that whole thing.
Yeah. That's over and over in blues songs. Like that was the first thing that people like to really say. That's a line that was from the blues.
Because the Rye Whiskey by Pete Seeger. Yeah. It says if the ocean was whiskey and I was a duck, I'd swim to the bottom and never come up.
Yeah.
That reminded me of when the river. Same idea.
Yeah, and see, there's that whole song like Muddy Water, like he did like I think 2 versions of it, and then everybody covers it. But they all do different versions and different words.
Okay, absolutely.
It's just a play. And I mean, originally a cover wasn't like the band you go down to the beach and see. The whole idea of a cover was to make it your own and to like, they're covering that song. You can tell they got the roots of it from there, but they made it their way, this way.
There's a fine line between cover and copy.
Yeah. Now you hear copy bands.
And we've talked about it a lot. There's a lot of cover copy bands, however you want to word it. They get applauded, paid.
Yeah.
But if you were a covered comic, you're a hack, or you're stealing. Or exactly, you're crucified. Like, why do you have your own material? What's wrong with you? Like,
Carlos Mencia.
It's totally looked at as a different.
Yeah.
Even though the idea is exactly the same, one is in a sense praised, the other one is don't do it at all.
But with music, though, you can do it in an appropriate way, and I think that whole that idea of a true cover. Let me do this, but I'm going to change the words a little bit. I'm going to do it my way.
Or the arrangement of the actual chords can be different, but to the normal ear, if the lyrics are exactly the same, they copied it. But it may be a different arrangement, different tempo. It might be different.
Yeah.
I don't know. We only have a few minutes. This might be good to get into. The was Led Zeppelin lawsuit about them stealing Stairway to Heaven. Did you get into that at all?
I listened to that song and. The thing about music is common themes come up regardless.
I don't think, if you listen to the original, right, what they said was stolen, and then you listen to the Zeppelin song, similar for sure, but how can you say it's the same when the original doesn't even have any fucking words?
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's like looking at if you got 2 images, they're both black, but one of them has polka dots, and saying, those are the same.
But like
it's not the fucking same. It doesn't even have words in it.
But see, Led Zeppelin should have been sued a long time ago because like think about this and like this is an example. Here, hold this for a second. So it's like the end of Stairway to Heaven. And we ran down the road. And a story that I told. Whatever, like it walks a lady we all know. But that's also there must be some kind of way out of here.
Okay.
Say the joker to the thieves. And there's like a handful of songs that are this chord or minor. There's a handful of songs that are that way.
The interesting thing is those 2 songs just played at the same era.
Yeah, but neither one of them said you stole that from me. That was just like. We just happen to come up with similar ideas at the same time.
I would even say yes to that.
And that's even like the first part of Last Dance with Mary Jane. Oh my, oh hell yeah, honey put on that party dress. It's like the same thing. There's so many songs out there that are like that. Those 3 chords over and over. Just rotating through those. And Dave Matthews actually did a thing. The only thing that I could ever give him.
I'm just gonna stay quiet. I've been a fan for years.
He did that where he did like the end of Stairway to Heaven, did like a couple other songs, the Jimi Hendrix song and a couple other ones that were just those 3 chords and like they made it like a medley. But you could do that with like 1,000 songs.
So do you think that they should be sued?
No, I think that it's like sometimes it may be a nod to that artist and say, I really like what you did here. I'm gonna make it a little bit my own. You know, that's kind of a nod to that. I mean, if you think about it as far as paintings go, like painters paint in the same way. You know,
Right.
like it would be a nod to to Van Gogh to paint his ear. You know, like or
Right.
you know something
Right.
like that.
I've been into the Doors lately. And
Yeah.
I can't remember the song. If I played it, you'd be like,
Pick your head up.
okay. If I played it, just the intro, and you didn't know it was the Doors, you would say that's a Nirvana song. It sounds so much like a Nirvana intro. I can't remember what each song is, but if you just listen to it and you know like if you knew both bands' sound,
Yeah.
you'd be like that sounds like a Nirvana song. You can tell where that inspiration came from. It may not be the same song, but you can tell where that inspiration came from.
Yep. And that's what it comes from. It comes from the inspiration of it all. The Doors, I mean, you look at the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones came over to America and was like, the first thing they said was, we want to meet Muddy Waters. They went to his record studio. First thing they did. And recorded, what's that song that he did? Oh, gosh. It's embarrassing. I don't know it. I Can't Be Satisfied is the name of the song. Well, Rolling Stones later came out with a song called Satisfaction. It's a different song, but it's like, it could have been a nod to Muddy Waters.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everybody was playing everybody else's stuff.
And it's offensive to the outside person, but in the music community, it's probably just like,
like the other day we were sitting around and somebody texted me. I still don't know who texted me, so if you're out there, text me your name.
That's pretty random.
Yeah, I get texts sometimes, and I'm always like kind of
the ether just came
I'm
in.
kind of embarrassed to ask like who is this because like I should probably have their number.
Everybody has that.
But they texted me and they're like, I'm at Goat Lips right now, and somebody just covered your song.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I was like,
awesome.
dang, that's really cool. Like, who does that, you know? So, I don't know. It was just cool. It was a nod to me, you know? And, like, that was nice. That's a compliment, you know, more than anything.
And I think it's also funny, too, like, most people aren't fucking original anyway.
Yeah. No,
and those are the same people that are getting bent out of shape about a band covering another band and saying it's their own. Like, you're not even a fucking original.
Yeah, no one's original. It's like using what you know from other people to make something good and enjoyable.
I forget who said it first, but there's a quote: "Good artists copy, great artists steal."
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
I wanted to bring this up. I don't know if we have time to, but do you think that Tupac, Biggie,
Elvis, they're still alive. Yeah. They're also alive.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the Nirvana kid, Kurt Cobain, all of them, you think that they would have been as big if they wouldn't have died?
Yeah, they were already big, most of those guys.
But they're, like, living in infamy now.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Infamy might be the wrong word.
Yeah. I think that...
that's the negative aspect. Well, I get what you're saying, though.
Right.
I think Eddie's more right, because they were only fucking 24, 25. They were already on another level.
But they didn't stick around to be terrible.
Well, that's true, too. Because there's a lot of people who've showed that.
Right. That's a great question. I wish we had more time, actually. That's a great question.
We'll bring it up next time. Eddie, April 25th.
April 25th, head of our Chain Smoking Hags, bear with me, Broke Yokels, Milo Ranger from South Florida coming up to support us, bringing their merchandise. Come support us. Come hang out, have a good time. Mention this podcast. You get $1 off at the door.
What time?
9 o'clock. Travis is emceeing.
Check it out.
Yeah.
That got announced today.
Yep. Locked
Yes.
it up.
Official.
So if you want to hear this sexy voice, come and see live.
Denny might do some comedy.
Denny will do some comedy, aka showing his wiener to you. But be there. Thanks for coming out to listen. Bye bye.